first things first, I just want to congrats to the Kansas City Chiefs, back-to-back Super Bowl champions. I had no dog in this fight. It ain't my Bears, and it wasn't the Green Bay Packers. I have no dog in this fight. Before somebody goes and says who I was rooting for or whatever, yes, I was rooting for the 49ers because, number one, they have two of my Buckeye boys, Chase Young and Nick Bosa. So, yeah, of course, if you guys know, yes, I'm always going to root for my Buckeyes. Two, I just want to get this out of the way before I talk about this game. To the fickle Bear fans, please don't go, oh, this could have been us. This could have been us. No, stop it. He wouldn't have been that here. Mahomes, I know that whole thing is going to go with the fickle Bear fans, but no. But anyway, let's talk about this game. This is probably one of the best Super Bowls I've seen. I'm not going to compare it to the Steelers and Cardinals in 2009. That was, I think, the best Super Bowl I've ever seen. And I could probably put this above the Eagles versus the Patriots back in 2017 when the Eagles won that game. I think I could put this Super Bowl above that. I think this is one of the best played games in a Super Bowl that I've seen since the Steelers versus the Cardinals in 2009. Now, let's get to this game. The one thing is I thought was coming into this game was this game was going to be won by defense. This game was going to be won by which defense can make the plays. And that kind of looked like the Niners at the beginning of this game. It really looked like the Niners defensively had control of every inch of this football game. It really, really did. Because that Niners defense was containing Mahomes. They had the plan just right as far as keeping him inside, making him go out the middle and not outside where he makes a lot of his plays. That Niners defense looked good, but I think when Drake Greenlaw got hurt on that, just a fluke of an event happening, period, with him on the sideline, I think that changed the dynamic of this game as far as what the 49ers can do on defense, because Drake Greenlaw is, along with him and Fred Warner, I think they are the best linebacking tandem that we have in football. I really personally think that, because the things that they can do flying around the football, not only in a running game, but in the passing game as well, especially when you're going up against a monster at the tight end position in the way the Chiefs scheme it with a guy like Travis Kelce. Now, speaking of Travis Kelce, the other reason I didn't want the Chiefs to win this game was the damn Taylor Swift shit. I didn't want to keep seeing her, and it's not even her, it's the way the media does it. But anyway, the thing, I think this ball game came down to 49ers mistakes, 49ers penalties. You had Trent Williams get called for 2 penalties in one drive that stalled one. You had Christian McCaffrey fumble in the first drive of the game, which I think could have been a changer if the 49ers were able to go in and score on that play. Now, Pacheco had a fumble of his own in the red zone that kind of offset a little bit of what they did in stripping McCaffrey of the football, but it's just key mistakes by the Niners, whether it was the muff punt, whether it was missed throws, whether it was penalties, whether it was some coverage maps. But the Niners' mistakes and the Niners' penalties, and I think the biggest player in this thing is why special teams is so important, which was that blocked extra point that made it a 4-point game versus a 3-point game. Now, a lot of people are going to say that's just 1 point, but that means so much with the Chiefs driving down, and they only need a field goal to tie it, versus the Chiefs driving down, and they need to get a touchdown to win the game. It makes a big difference in how you're going to operate in a situation like that, because you call the game so much differently in both sides if your defense and you're trying to just prevent a touchdown and you can hold them to a field goal, you trust it, or if your defense and you know that they gotta get 6. They gotta get 6. It is a big difference in offense when you're calling a scheme where you have to get 6 versus you can call plays where you don't have to be as aggressive or you don't have to do things a certain way as far as scheming wise, as far as getting chunk plays, you can get those and you can still get a field goal versus you got to get 6. It's so much that you can call from each staff. And that's why I think that extra point could have been the difference between the Niners winning the Super Bowl and what we have in the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. I think that play was the biggest difference in this ball game, is the Chiefs blocking that extra point. Now, we had some plays where the Niners, I kind of want to say that the Niners, I think, especially late parts of that ball game, they went a little bit too soft when it comes to coverages, when it comes to trying to prevent the Chiefs from winning this game. I think especially, and Tony Romo did a great job of pointing this out, even though I saw it with my eyes anyway. But he did a great job of pointing out that they have 5 guys deep for trying to just cover the sticks versus being their usual aggressive selves that slowed that offense down in the first half. I think that another thing was a difference between 49ers being Super Bowl champions and now we have the Kansas City Chiefs back-to-back Super Bowl champions, that they're a dynasty right now. This is a dynasty, 3 and 6 years, and you got Mahomes, who's only 28 years old. You got at defense, which who knows what they're going to look like with Chris Jones' contract coming up. But that's another subject for another day. But this is a dynasty. I don't hate this because back in my younger days, back in my middle school, elementary type of days, I was a big fan. I'm not going to say big fan because I've always been a Bears fan, but if I had a second team, it was the Eagles. And that was Reid, McNabb, and the area where they had T.O., Brian Dawkins. I wanted the Eagles to win one of those Super Bowls, or the one that they went to against the Patriots and maybe get to another one or two. But I was rooting for the Eagles then because I liked Andy Reid. I liked the things he did. I was always a fan of McNabb. So I'm not a hater on the Chiefs at all. I don't hate Mahomes because, the Bears could have drafted him instead of Trubisky. I know so many Bears fans are still caught up in that. But no, I'm not one of them. I am not one of those fans. So congratulations to Andy Reid. He's getting a Super Bowl success that I personally wanted him to have in Philly with McNabb and those boys. Congratulations to Mahomes, back-to-back Super Bowl MVPs. And this team is a young football team, especially on that offensive side of the ball. It can only get better. Defensively, we have to see a couple of things happen, but this Chiefs team is around for years to come, especially when you have that magician and Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback. You have that play caller in Andy Reid. And I hate to say that Matt Nagy has 2 Super Bowl rings now. I hate to say it because if you guys know, I was probably one of the biggest bashers of Matt Nagy and across all Chicago Bear platforms, but he now has 2 Super Bowl rings as the offensive coordinator. So there's that. But anyway, this was a great Super Bowl. I personally picked the Niners. I was personally rooting for the Niners, mainly for 2 reasons: Nagy and that damn Taylor Swift shit. But other than that, this was a great football game. What a way to end the season. This is great. And now we're going on to the offseason. But before I end this video, I want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up. Chicago Bears Weekly Season 8 is coming back Monday, February 19th. And spoiler alert, I will be talking about the Caleb Williams and Justin Fields debate. I won't be talking about it anymore on social media. I'm going to just drop that episode and I'm going to let that know where I stand in that. But enough of that. I'm signing out. What a great Super Bowl. What a great way to end the season. And I'll catch you guys in Chicago Bears Weekly. If it's not a video up before then. Probably will be. But I'll see you guys. Peace.